So our page 2 was about avoidance and control. So this is where it's a bit of a montage page because this is a little bit of where Sam is trying to figure out how to live in this space that just does not feel right. Starting with the sofa pushed in front of the door. So Sam wipes hands for smile, like, this feels better, like that kind of a feeling. Panel 2, the TV's moved. Now Sam's sitting on the floor with the remote. The door is faintly reflected on the black of the TV screen. So again, that kind of feeling, that moving things around, trying to reorientate and can't make it work. And we have like okay, like a little bit kind of panicky. Sam tries not to look. So eyes drift anyways. Don't. So now we're really starting to talk to ourselves, right? Like this starting to get inside of Sam. So stares at the TV. The reflection of the door is clearer now. It's still subtle, but we can really see that that door is there. So Sam stands up abruptly with his chair screech. So to really give that kind of nails on a chalkboard, we have that sound effects of bookshelf shoved to block it. So the books are tidy for now, and a plant is visible and still healthy, which is something we had talked about earlier of having that decay happen. So kind of seeing a nice little plant on the shelf, like we're still trying to keep our life in order. Then we have, so after he does that, we get, okay, now it's night. Only the TV glows with streetlights, blocked door silhouette, and it's the only thing that we can see. And we have Sam kind of ending that with, why is that still there? So this kind of feeling of this montage of trying to sort this space out, can't make it happen, and then just kind of giving in and being like, why? Why is this still there? Which will take us to our next page. I'm going to stop sharing for now so that we can see what's happening on Keith's screen. So I thought that that page could be interesting as a montage because this is that really kind of panicking, everything's fine, house is on fire, but I'm going to be okay sort of feeling of like moving things, changing things, trying to ignore the door. But anything that Sam does, the door just keeps popping back up and can't get out of the way.
Sorry, as you were talking, I was getting some ideas. I just wanted to get them down real
And that's
quickly.
perfect.
But one of the things that you mentioned is like a shelf, right? And it
Mhm,
wasn't mentioned on page one.
mhm,
And this is where you can just start throwing things back in on page one to make
yeah.
sure that you're uh, making those seen right
Mhm,
early on. I always, when it comes to staging, blocking things, anything that's going to be mentioned later on, you want to have earlier on in there
mhm.
somewhere. Doesn't have to be super prominent, but it's got to be visible to the reader so that when they see it, it's not a surprise to them.
Yes.
And then one of the things I was thinking about as you were reading it, and I was just kind of going, okay, what where are we like in regards to the time, the era?
Mhm.
I was thinking maybe we aren't modern because you're not really saying cell phone, right? It's telephone, I think. So
Yeah.
we could make this uh at a time where, let's say, there weren't cell phones. So it could be the 90s, or cell phones weren't as prominent. So it could be the 90s, putting
I think it could
for
be,
people. What's
yeah, it could be
that?
interesting to set it a little bit because again, when we don't have as much tech, like what would be the first thing that you would do, right? You start going online, looking things up, you find chat groups of people that have whatever, it goes in a very different direction. But this is a little bit more isolating. So I think removing some of that tech from the equation is actually a really interesting way to make this feel even more terrifying, right? Because there's no way right now, like anybody who's feeling something weird, you go online and you find a support group of a million other people that are feeling that. That wasn't the case back before technology was as prominent. So I love that idea.
Yeah, for sure. Like so many issues of contacting people were problematic
Yeah.
before cell phones, right?
Yeah.
If you wanted to get in touch with somebody, and you were, you're locked out, you have a
Yeah.
cell phone, right? But now,
Exactly.
but back then, it's like you locked yourself out of your home. Well, you'd have to go to a neighbor's house and call them, or
Yeah.
like they get the key from your husband or wife by
Yeah.
calling a payphone. So a lot of problems were solved with having that
Well,
technology
'cause
on you at all times.
exactly. And even realistically now, if this person was current days, you wouldn't even call the landlord, you would text them. Right? You most likely, unless like last ditch effort, you would make a phone call. But I think that having that lack of tech is actually a really interesting layer to this story because a lot of those kind of really great horror movies and thrillers took place in that pre-tech age because there is a lot less you can do on your own. So I like that.
Yeah, so then there's the use of the books. You mentioned these
Mhm.
books. I was thinking would be interesting if the books were like piled up as the way to raise the TV, right? So
That's a good
you have
idea.
all of these books piled around the TV as well as being used as an actual piece of furniture.
Mhm.
Maybe even like a book underneath the pot to raise it up. So it's like this person doesn't have a lot of furniture. Like you mentioned the sofa. I'm drawing like one of those oval rugs that
Yeah.
you remember. I don't know why I remember as a kid that were like not quite shag, but they not the prettiest colors. They're like
Well, I
browns
think
and reds and oranges and
all of this really speaks to what we've talked a lot about with this character being kind of first time out on their own. They don't have a lot of stuff, they don't have a lot of experience. And this kind of feels like they're making up furniture from random things. They took borrowed whatever from grandma's basement, whatever it is. So it feels a little disheveled, which is kind of this character's MO, right? Like they were forced into this situation with whatever they had available to them, and their space looks like that.
yeah. And so one of the things that I always try to remember is light. Where's the light coming from?
Mm, mhm.
So you have a window here, and that window can, I think, create for some interesting kind of shadows and light. And that's one of those things again, when you're early on, just going through the page this first time and getting a sense of
Mhm,
the layout of the room, the staging, the blocking of the room. When you start to think about that, because I may go, wait, maybe the window is better across from this door here, or maybe the door is located in a different location. I'm thinking this door that's on the left side right here is the entranceway. So then
mhm,
there's another door almost adjacent to it, but maybe not. Like it, these are all things that can change up. But then you've
mhm,
got like this window where the sink is there's a sink, there's maybe a window there, and then the light can come from here because then you can get some really interesting shadows, maybe. Right?
yeah, I like that.
I don't know. This may change up, but I'm early on just thinking about where things could be located, where the light can be coming from, the size of things, the textures of the room. Like the now I'm looking at the floor and it's like, okay, there's wood here and it's maybe it's creaky wood, right? So it looks uneven. It's just all really painting a picture of the person, where they're at in time and in space, and how it can set up for some really kind of creepy moments.
Well, and even speaking of the door, like, I think the fact that it's in an unusual place also adds to the creepiness, right? Like, there's certain places that feel like they should have a door and other places that really don't, right? Like, it's like, there shouldn't be a door here, this is weird. We've also not really talked about the size or shape of the door, right? Like, is it oversized? Is it small? Is it, is it not straight edges? Like, there's other things that could give this door a feeling of this isn't just some random closet door that got locked. This door is otherworldly, for lack of a better word. There's something about it that just doesn't sit right from the moment they see it versus it being like, oh, well, this is just a locked closet, whatever, I don't care. There needs to be something that makes them think that there's more to this and I need to investigate it.
What if there isn't a couch yet? What if there's just like is a person just sitting on the floor?
Yeah.
Could we do that? Could we do a
Yeah, we could
situation?
even
So,
like have them on the floor and like even like an old beanbag or something like that. Like,
ooh, yeah, there we go.
'cause that feels very like this is what I had available to me.
So, okay, I'm thinking, now what I'm doing is I make it a little bit bigger for everybody because it's pretty small at this moment here. Actually, I'm gonna copy, create a new layer, paste, and now I'm making this larger. So I'm actually creating a little map, a layout, like a architect's layout of the room. This
Mhm.
gives me a really quick, easy way of figuring out like where things could be in this room. And so now let's say there's got to be a bathroom somewhere here, right? So this is the entrance. This is
Mhm.
like a little kitchenette. There's a window here. I'm thinking if there's the door here, that's this creepy door, and they're sitting on their couch here. They see the reflection kind of here, right? So
Mhm.
that's going to be interesting. You have the light source here from the window. There's got to be a bedroom here, so maybe there's another door right here, and then there's going to be, let's say, a the bedroom is right here. So there is like we don't ever see this, I don't think, the bed, but just to have an idea. And then
Mhm.
maybe there's like um, this is where the bathroom is here. So another door to the bathroom, and maybe this is like a closet right here. So some of this we're never gonna use, but it's just a good idea to have an idea because this could be a door that's actually open, and so
Mhm.
there may be scenes where we actually see the bedroom where we can see the bed, so we get a sense of, like, where things are in this room so that people are like, "Is there not a bedroom in here?"
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it's like we
'Cause it
talked about earlier, like, we're never gonna actually talk about the character's backstory, but we need to know it. We're never gonna see all these
Right.
spaces, but we need to know where they are, right? So that the story makes sense, so that a reader doesn't immediately go, "What is this just a room? Is this a like, an apartment? What's going on?" We need to know the layout so that that isn't a question.
Yeah, and I'm also thinking, like, if there's another door here, this could be like a closet or something.
Mhm,
So again, like, if it's a room where the person is going, I walk in, I see a door that I can open here, which is my closet, uh, and then I know that I can walk here, and that's my bedroom, and then there's another closet back here for stuff. There's another room. All these doors open. This one doesn't, and everything here is like there's everything I need in this room, right? I know it's a single bedroom.
mhm,
I know that there's a space for my, sitting down for my TV. I know there's a space for kitchen. Maybe there's like a little they have like a little table with a little chair right here. So they actually have like everything normal that they would need in this room, but there's this extra door
yeah,
that it doesn't quite fit because it's like, well, what else could it be? I already have a closet. I already have a bedroom. I already have a bathroom. What else would this be? Right.
yeah,
And then that's why I think in this early stage is I'm kind of reading what you wrote,
mhm,
and then we're gonna, I think, save the next 2 pages for the second half of this.
yeah,
But this way now I'm getting a really, really good sense of the blocking of the room, and I may rearrange it because one of the things as I get into the thumbnails and I start thinking more about the placement of the character within those panels,
mhm,
I'm gonna wanna make sure I'm setting it up in a really creepy way. So I have to everything has to kind of uh, be set up ahead of time, and that's why this is really important. It's you could I could have drawn this map multiple times. Like maybe I'll draw it again and I'll rearrange the room a little bit. Maybe let's see what it looks like if the that weird door is at the end of the room. Then you've got the entranceway here. You've got a bedroom here, so they walk in and they know that there's like a bedroom here that they can open, and then this is divided by the bathroom, and then there's right on this side now I'm gonna draw the window with the kitchen, and there is another closet, maybe not over there because that's if the entrance is here. So let's say there's a closet right here that they can open. Um, so again, it still creates the same issue, which is we've got this door at the end here, but there's everything else that they need is here. So what is
mhm,
it? Right. So and you see how quickly I just drew that. That was done uh, you know, within 30 seconds. And so I recommend doing that. I recommend
yeah,
this is where you can like continue to put your character into the world and figure out, very quickly where the best way you can use the room and the space and the time and all that so that you're going to get the most from once you get to that next stage. You'll everything will be figured out, right? And that is why it's important not to like fuss too much about it at this point, just to do it very quickly. And
Mhm.
and reading, it doesn't matter. You can read your script once and then go and do this stuff. You can read page by page and just doodle stuff down. It's not really as important because you can always add things in that you realize are mentioned later on.
Mhm.
And, um, really, you just want to feel like this is the fun part. This is the part where there's no pressure on you.
Yeah, absolutely. Once you lock it in, then it's figuring out, this is what the room looks like. Logistically, now we have to move around it. At this stage, we're figuring out everything, right? So you are open to change it up. And one of the things we have to factor in is because that door is present always, is it a fixed location? Is it slightly supernatural? Like, does it actually move, or does it just somehow, no matter what he does, it just remains in focus? So that's something we have to decide and commit to one way or the other, because once we've decided the rules of the door, then we have to stick to them. So, yeah, heading into some interesting stuff now.